All right, welcome back to video number 3. Video number 3, you made it. It's Kevin Knecht here, Facebook for Marketers 101, 102, and 103. Now, if you skipped ahead, if you didn't watch 101 and 102, then pause this video right now, go back and follow the instructions. I gave you specific tips on what to do so you can be ready for video number 3. And then we can actually get to work, okay? So, again, I'll wait. Okay, I'm just kidding. I like to have a lot of fun, as you may know or may not know. One of the great things about Facebook is that you can just be yourself. And I'll tell you what, I'm very blessed to work from home and be myself. And I'm really excited to give you this training here because this is the stuff that my wife Melissa and I have learned for years of just being ourselves. And you know what? I got in so much trouble in school for being myself at times. Really think about this. Public school, sit down, be quiet, raise your hand, speak when spoken to. That's not how it works. You've got to express yourself. And sometimes, the moment's just so funny, you just got to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But all right, let me get to work here on video number 3 because we only have a limited amount of time here. And on this series here now, remember, you're going to look up there. I'm looking over here and seeing the same thing you're seeing by looking up there. Now, on video number 1, we covered, setting up your Facebook profile details. Hopefully you got that going now, why this is important. Number 2, what kind of content should you be posting? So by now, maybe you've actually posted some content. And number 3, we're going to really talk on this video about how to grow your Facebook account so people will be coming at you left and right. And each day you'll wake up and have new people following you, people commenting on your Facebook posts and engaging and just growing this to a point where you can actually, people are coming at you left and right. And you'll wake up one day and realize you have 900 friends who are waiting for you to say yes rather than the other way around. And that's what we're going to teach you on this video. So we're going to get started here, and I'm going to give you a couple of tips right out the gate. Tip number 1, and by the way, you know what? There are so many great tips to give on Facebook. There's probably a lot of Facebook training you'll run into over the next 90 days, but I'm going to remind you to focus and keep it simple and take these steps I've given you here over the last couple of videos and put them into practice and put your blinders on for the next 90 days. And I promise you, if you'll do that, you can turn on the cash and the results. But I better say an income disclaimer, our results are not typical.com. So, I'm here to say you can generate a 6-figure income if you'll follow the directions as I'm laying them out here for you. So let's get to the video here. Tip number 1, identify your best prospect and his or her traits. Who do you want to be friends with on Facebook? Who are you looking to generate as followers? It's a good idea to take a pad and paper and actually write down some of the traits or start looking around on your Facebook page, doing some searches in this search bar on the top. As you're looking up there, the search bar at the top here, you can type lots of things in here that are going to give you the things that you're looking for. So identify your best prospect and his or her traits. Now, again, I'm coming at you from a perspective of a marketer. You're watching this video series, which is really designed for people who are looking to market online, whether you're self-employed, whether maybe you're a realtor, maybe you've worked in outside sales like me, like I was in outside sales and radio advertising for a number of years. Maybe you're a network marketer right now. These are great people, by the way, to seek out on Facebook because they're already pre-made for what you're looking to do here. I know when I started working online, it makes a lot more sense to look for people who already are looking for what you have to offer, right? It's kind of like going into a steakhouse and taking a vegetarian with you, right? You just don't do that. You take people who love steak to a steakhouse. You take the vegetarian to a salad bar. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing here. Identify your best prospect and write these traits down. So there's your first tip right there, number 1. And then number 2, start using the Facebook search engine that's up at the top left of the screen when you're on Facebook here. And I'll start typing some things in here. Let me just copy and paste here. For example, let me start with something simple here. People who are not my friends and live in Sarasota, Florida. So let me just find some people around here. I live in Sarasota, Florida here right now. I'll type this in here and let's see what I come up with as results. For example, and what's really cool is that you'll start to see, if you're looking to connect with people around you, you can start looking for people. Like here's Rocco Fish, or is it Rocco? I guess it's Rocco. And Richard and Annette and Sam. And you'll start to see how there's 122 mutual friends. So this guy Rocco has a lot of friends that I have in common. We have a lot of friends in common. So we actually may be in a similar industry or certainly have similar friends. Here's Richard, 106 mutual friends. Here's Annette, 85 mutual friends. I recommend that you look for people who have some mutual friends because you most likely have some similar interests, right? Or maybe you're both salespeople, or you know what I'm saying? So as you scroll down through here, I mean, these are all people that live in Sarasota, Florida, where I live. So these are people that I could really, if I'm putting on a live event here, you know, if I have a meetup group or something like this, these are the people that I would invite, you know, have a social networking group. You know, these are the people I would seek out because they live right here in Sarasota, Florida. So there's an idea right there. If you're looking to meet people around you, let's say you're starting an online business, you want to find people around you. So there's an example right there of how to use the Facebook search engine. So write that tip down as well. Tip number 3, as you're starting to add people, I want to give a big beware right here, a big caution. You cannot add friends aimlessly on Facebook. Like look at this list right here, for example. Let me put this back over here. For example, let's say on this list right here, let's say I just decide I want to add all of these people as friends. So if I go boom, 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 boom. I mean, right here on my screen, there are 11 people. If I add all 11 people, some of these 11 people are going to be like, who the heck is Kevin Knecht? Why should I add him? They may actually report me. You know, I don't know this guy. You know, I may get some negative stuff about me. If I start going down this list, you know, this list goes on forever here. You know, if I add 100 people, Facebook has algorithms to kind of keep you, to where you do the right thing. Doing the right thing is adding maybe 4 or 5 people a day. You might be able to sneak it up to 10, but certainly if you go up over 10, you're kind of asking to go to Facebook jail. That's when they're going to lock you up and not even allow you to add friends. Sometimes they turn off your instant messaging. Sometimes they don't let you communicate or go into different groups. You want to stay out of Facebook jail. And I would recommend that you connect on quality, not quantity. So let's take, for example, let me just go down the list here, and I'll pick Deborah Warren right here. Deborah, if you're watching, appreciate you playing along here with me. So when you want to connect with somebody on Facebook, use a custom message to introduce yourself. I would never recommend you just push add friend and hope that Deborah's going to add me back. So I'm going to go to Deborah's page right here, for example, and see, you know, a little bit about her right here. And as you can see, here are some friends that we have in common. Let's see. I know Kim Claver's a friend of mine. Roosevelt Cooper I know. And Diane I know. And Todd. And Charlotte and Gregory. So these are all people that are common friends. And what's something similar here is that all of them happen to be in the home-based business arena, which I'm a part of as well. So chances are Deborah probably is as well. Although I don't know that for a fact. You know, so you can kind of look through here and see, all right, she lives in Sarasota. She's from Michigan. She's married. And here's her husband, Bradley, you know. So you can really start to kind of figure out who they are. Maybe these are her kids. They kind of look, I mean, I don't really know. So look for some things in common. And as you scroll down here, okay, she's proud of her boys. They captured the trophy at Suncoast Middle School, but that's not, I know where that is actually. That's not too far from me. So you scroll down and you can kind of learn some things that maybe you have in common and find a common path. Now here, you know, maybe she's a golfer. I don't know. I'm not a golfer. But find a way to connect with people. And you'll do that if you can look at their screens first and find some things about them. And if you don't really think you have too much in common, and kind of go back, and maybe I'll look at Sam here, or San Warren Knecht here next. And we have a little bit more, 61 friends in common. And let's see, here he is on Sunday, looking down through here. You know, and I can kind of go through here and see whether or not we have more things in common. And if you do decide you want to reach out to somebody, you know, add them as a friend, but also I would recommend you send an instant message and write a short introduction. Hi, San. It's Kevin Knecht. I'm also here in Sarasota, Florida. Hey, I see that we both love Rolls Royces. And obviously, I don't have a Rolls Royce, but if I did, I would say something like that. Hey, it looks like we have a few friends in common. Just looking to connect with like-minded people. Would love to find out a little bit more about what you're up to. You know, just something that sounds natural for you. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And it has to be a match for who you are, okay? So make sure you do that. Like, you know, do that 4 or 5 times a day. You do that over the course of 30 days, and you'll probably find you'll engage with about 30 to 60 people. Maybe if you add 5 people, maybe you'll engage with 1 person a day. And that can be all the difference in the world when you're building a business online. You'll probably find a couple of key people. In this case, right here around Sarasota, Florida, right where I live. So pretty cool when that happens, right? So there's tip number 3. Friend requests, and beware of the jail. Quality, not quantity. Look for mutual friends. Last night, actually, a true story, I was actually on Facebook last night, and a woman that I grew up with, her brother was my best friend growing up, and she had a picture on Facebook. It was Chrissy. I wonder if the picture is still up here. Let me just show this to you here real quick. This actually really happened last night. Here's Chrissy Connors, who works for the Philadelphia Phillies. She works for the sports network down in Philadelphia, and she works in the booth, like where all the games are held, right? And I saw this picture here last night. This is hysterical. She said, "Zip it," and it's her friend Melissa. I'm thinking, I wonder who Melissa is. Now Melissa's my friend, so I popped over here last night, and I realized that Melissa and I had 4 mutual friends, and I looked to see, like, wow, I know Jeff, and I know Alexis, and I know Crystal, because they're all networkers like me. So I actually reached out to Melissa last night, and the conversation is still on here. Look at the bottom of my screen here. I just reached out to her. I said, "Hi, Melissa. Wow, small world. I grew up knowing Chrissy Connors. Her younger brother, Brian, was my best friend. I also know Jeff Combs, going all the way back to Global Prosperity in 1998. And I mentioned that I had met Susan Sly, somebody that we both know, and she said, "Hey, Alexis Romano is my mentor. I'm on her team. I go to Jeff Combs events all the time." So we actually built a relationship just on that and became friends. And it turns out she's in a home business, I'm in a home business. So maybe down the road we can actually help each other somewhere along the line. So it's great to make these connections. And that was a real live example, something that happened last night just by chance, because I happened to see a funny picture of a girl I grew up with, Chrissy Connors, who I still reach out to. She works for the Philadelphia Phillies in the booth during the games, which I love the Phillies, and I always wanted to be a broadcaster, so I'm kind of interested in what goes on in that booth there. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, there's a real live example of how to connect right there. So, and use that custom message. Just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong if you're just being yourself. So let's go into another tip here. Tip number 4, Facebook groups. Now we're going to really get into some meat and potatoes here. So you actually may want to pause this and follow along with me and kind of, maybe rewind here a little bit. We're actually going to go into some Facebook groups. Now, when you look on, let me see where I can find this. When I click on home, I think it's when I click home, they actually give you some suggested Facebook groups. I don't remember exactly where this is. You're kind of on here and you see so many things and all of a sudden you forget where it was. But somewhere along here, I know that it kind of suggests where I can look at some different groups. But anyway, usually in the lower right corner are suggested groups that you can join. I know what it is when I actually have to be in a group. So I'm just going to pick a group here. Like, for example, here's one I found, Simple MLM Sponsoring. I'm going to go to this group right over here. I'm going to copy and paste this in here and show this to you guys. This is actually an open group that you can go to. There are 11,000 people in this group. Here's another one that's 5,000 people. So here's one right here. Simple MLM Sponsoring by Mastering the Art of Sponsoring by Phone. And, here's an open, I can actually join this group. I'm actually going to join this group. I see some members in here of some of my friends on Facebook. I'm going to join. You can just join a group here by, clicking there, and you'll get a message a little bit later on. If you're in a group, you can find it. You can usually figure out who owns the group by going to all members and looking for the admins. And for example, I'll look here. I don't happen to know who these 3 are. They're not my friends. So, it's a good idea to see when you're in somebody's group, you want to kind of play by the rules. And I'm not suggesting you go to a group and suddenly start spamming all of your posts in here. In fact, I don't recommend that at all. What I do recommend is that you go into a group and meet people like yourself. Let me type this in again. It was the actual other group I wanted to go to here. This was the group I think is an open group, if I remember correctly. This one, I had to join this one too. There's another group in here that I was actually in already that was like this, Simple MLM Sponsor. Let me type this one more time. Let's see if it just pops up here. All right, give me a second here. See if this pops up. And no. But there are definitely, anyway, the point is that when you get inside some of these groups, you can actually start to interact with people. But what really is the best thing to do is to find people who are in some of these groups and then go back and use the search bar to find people. Now, one of the groups that I actually like to follow, I'm a big fan of Food Babe. You may have heard of her. She's somebody who writes a blog about how to look for organic and healthy food versus GMO food. And she's really got a big campaign going. She's a little bit controversial too, which I like. And she has a new book out too. But I really like to follow people who follow her. So something I would recommend, so I might say people who are not my friends and like Food Babe. So if I put that into the search bar here, I will instantly find people who it'll actually start to give me the people who are, who have mutual friends who meet the requirements. So for example, here's a woman named Sharon. We have 56 mutual friends, and she's also a fan of Food Babe. Here's Tracy Servo. We keep going down the list here. Let me click on here for a second. We keep going down the list, and there are people here who like Food Babe, just like me, who don't happen to be my friends. So if I'm looking to maybe write a blog about food, these are some people who may actually enjoy that blog. So it's a way to actually connect with people who have similar interests. So you can even go far and say, and live in Sarasota, for example. I don't know if that's too specific of a search, but let's take a quick look right here. Okay, here are people that live. So here are people that like Food Babe and live in Sarasota. Here's a woman right here. Here's Susie. Here's Rob, and here's Dawn. These are people like. Let's say I wanted to put on an expo here in Sarasota. And I wanted to invite people who were health conscious, who really were looking for organic foods. These are all people I could target right here because they have their likes and they live here in Sarasota, so they meet the requirements here. And some of them even have mutual friends. Here's a woman, Dawn. We have 21 mutual friends. Here's a woman, Jennifer. We have 11 mutual friends. So you can kind of keep going here. Do you see what I'm saying here? The more mutual things you have in common, the better you're going to have at connecting with people. So I would recommend you start to find your target audience here. Is I guess the word I should have used up here on tip number 1. Identify your best prospect, your target audience. Hopefully this is getting through and giving you some ideas right now. And as you're listening, of course, you can pause and write these down. When the ideas come to you, pause the video, write them down, and let's get back, obviously come back to work here with me once you have everything written down. So those are the 4 tips I have for you so far. I'm going to give you a couple of bonus tips here as we wrap up the video here, because we've gone about 30 minutes on the first 2, and I want to get you guys into action here as we're wrapping up the video here. So bonus tips, I want to introduce you to an idea of close friends. Now, close friends is a cool thing on Facebook that you can use to kind of know when your friends are sending you stuff. For example, like my mother is my close friend, Barbara Simon Knecht. See that little star right here? 29 minutes ago, I know my mom is in Aruba today. She and my dad left yesterday morning. So for example, 29 minutes ago, she posted pictures like, hey, mom's in Aruba, pretty cool. So I'll just go and like that right now. But your close friends will always show up, so when they post something, you can see that. Now, I would recommend if you have close friends who are people that you're emulating to become or modeling, you may want to be a close friend so you can kind of keep an eye on what they're doing. You'll learn from that as well. So what you can do is go to somebody. So let me just pick somebody here. So for example, let me just pick on, I pick on my wife because my wife is my close friend, of course. See where it says friends right here? You notice there's a little star right here? Close friends. So you can check that or uncheck that. If you check that, then that person will become your close friend. You can also get notifications as well. So usually they kind of go hand in hand here. But I said in an earlier video, sometimes you run across people in your family and you may not want to receive their updates for whatever reason, but you just want to stay friends to keep the peace in the family. So let me just pick on somebody here. I'll pick on my dad. My dad's a good sport. So for example, Dad's my close friend. The one time a year he posts on Facebook, I like to know, so he's a close friend. But let's say that Dad was a negative Nelly in his retirement. I didn't want to see his stuff all the time. I could turn off notifications, and he would still be my friend, and he wouldn't even know it. But then, no feelings are hurt, and that way he's still there, so he sees my stuff, and I will never see his post on a newsfeed unless I actually go to his page and do that. So I recommend that, if you have family members that kind of rub you the wrong way a little bit, just turn off the following feature, just for the sake of everybody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? But close friends, you definitely want to keep an eye on. For example, all of my friends here are pretty much close friends because I want to see what they're up to on a daily basis and keep track of them, because I don't know if you know this or not, but your friends don't necessarily see your posts. In fact, there's less than a 20% chance they'll see your post when you make a post. So some of my friends, for example, like Anna's a really close friend of mine, and Aaron and David and Rhonda, when they make posts, I want to see them. So I have them all designated as close friends. So make sure you take a look at that and pick, maybe 5 or 10 people that you're following that you really want to keep in touch with. Bonus tip number 2, when people accept you as a friend, it's a really cool thing when you see that somebody just accepted you as a friend to go to their wall. You can do it a couple of different ways. Like, for example, I'm trying to think of a new friend. I can think of somebody. The woman I talked to last night. Let me go back to, I'll go back to Chrissy here and Melissa right here. So Melissa last night, when she became my friend, now I could just write on the wall, "Hey Melissa, thanks for accepting me as a friend, blah, blah, blah." I actually just sent her an instant message instead. That's really up to you. It's cool to sometimes say hello on somebody's wall, but remember, you want to do it in a way that's tactful and tasteful. The last thing you want to do, like I would never go to Melissa's wall, not even knowing her, and type, "Hey Melissa, great to meet you. Here's a link to my website if you'd like to make money from home." That's about the worst thing you can do. That is just, it's like walking into somebody's house. You know what I mean? When you go to somebody's Facebook wall and you post on their wall, it's like being in their home. You want to treat it with respect. So the best thing you can do is serve with value there. I'm not really a big fan on posting on people's walls to say, "Hello, welcome, thanks for adding me as a friend." What I would rather do is send them an instant message and start a private conversation and find out if there's a way that we can help each other. That's to me the best way to handle that. You know what I mean? So if you have any questions about that, hey, send me an instant message and we can talk right here on Facebook. In fact, right now as you're watching, should I say to send me a message right now as you're watching? I'll probably get a lot of messages going forth. "Kevin, I'm on video number 3 right now, and you said to send you a message, so I'm sending you a message." Go ahead. That'd be kind of fun to see how many people actually do that. So go ahead, pause the video right now, send me an instant message and say, "Kevin, I'm on video number 3. I'd like to see if anybody actually does it. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so back to the training here. The last thing I'll leave you with here is friends versus followers. Now, on Facebook, you can only have 5,000 friends. Once you max out, you can't accept any more friends. Now, I'll give you an example here. Right now, at the time of this video, I have 4,966. I have room for 34 more friends. But I have a problem here is that I have all of these people that want to be my friend. I have like 900 friend requests here. So I only have room for 34 more, which is a challenge. So Facebook does have a way to accommodate, though. All of these people can follow me. Now I have 3,000 followers in addition to 5,000 friends. So you do have the ability to follow the people who you may want to be friends with. So keep that in mind. I would recommend, if you have this problem, over time you may want to kind of cut down on your friends and eliminate the ones that are just taking up room. If you have people on your list that are not engaging, you may just want to get rid of them and put people on that are engaging. But that's kind of extra work for later. First thing to do is, chances are you're watching this video and you probably have less than 1,000 friends, so not even something to worry about. Just keep that in the back of your mind as you go through time over the next 90 days, because you'll be adding 3 to 10, maybe 20 people a day who will be adding you as you're adding them, or maybe you'll join groups. And if you're doing this right, where you're engaging with people, people are going to be coming at you left and right because they're going to see you leaving great comments. One of the best things that you can do on Facebook is right here. Be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody. It's great when you can go to somebody's wall. When somebody has a great day, celebrate that with them. Go and be their encourager. Go and be their cheerleader. When somebody's having a bad day, you know what? I don't give that any energy. I'm not going to say, "Wow, Suzanne, you know what? It does suck to be you right now. I agree." Isn't that like the worst thing you can do? But if Suzanne's having a great day, "Wow, Suzanne, this is awesome. Way to go." Or, I see people all the time online who have their first win. Maybe they just had their first $100 day or $1,000 day or something like that. I'm always there to say, "Way to go, Julio." You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you're doing the right thing, because people are watching you, and your comments really do stick. And something I've said before in some different videos that's so true. That TV show Ancestry, what's that called? Who do you think you are? Where like these TV celebrities go and they want to find out their roots, and they go to New York and they kind of trace their roots back to Europe or Africa or Alaska or wherever they came from, right? You know what's cool about right now? Early in the 21st century here right now, we are all leaving our digital footmarks, our digital fingerprints online every single day. Every time we leave a post, we make a tweet, we make a Facebook post, maybe we're in LinkedIn, maybe we're just, wherever you are commenting, that's being indexed. So 100 years from now, our great-great-great-grandkids will be online and they're probably going to say, wow, I wonder what happened in the Knecht family 100 years ago. What was really going on? So I think about that every day, and I want my great-great-grandchildren to think, wow, Kevin Knecht back in the early part of the 21st century, he and his wife Melissa helped change the family trajectory from being just middle class to being prosperous and rich and full of life and living each day rather than being tied down to a boss and a paycheck and being unhappy all the time. That's how I hope to be remembered. So I'm very cognizant of that every time I get on the Facebook because I know that what I'm writing is going to be seen by somebody. So I want you to think about that. So if you're the person right now who's played a lot of games online, I could probably sit here and think about some people who just, we all have Facebook friends, right, who have, all you see is like all of their game updates, or maybe you'll see that, there are some negative people I know from the past who just, they're so anti-government, so anti-tax, so you know what I mean? And it just feels awful. And I can't help but think that's going to be how their grandkids are going to see them online in 20 years when their grandkids grow up. And, you just want to be a better example. You know what I'm saying? And do the right thing. So keep that in mind as you're going through. That's probably the most important thing you can recall from this training here over the last 3 sessions is that everything you put out there is going to come back to you. We're building our online real estate. It's an infinite space. You will never run out. So make sure that you're keeping track of that as you're going through. Now, as we wrap up the video here, I just want to thank you for watching. I mean, you've stuck it out here, hopefully for video 1, video 2, and video 3. And what I invite you to do right now is if you're still looking for more training on how to really become a pro online, whether you're a realtor right now, whether you're a network marketer, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, maybe you're somebody who's stuck in corporate America, maybe you're retired and realize, holy cow, I have like no retirement. I can't do anything except for go to the supermarket and shop on with coupons and all of that. Wherever you are right now, I'm here to say that these skill sets that we've taught you here on Facebook over the last 3 sessions and working on these over the next 90 days will open up so many doors for you that you may not even know are possible right now. And the best way to do that, I would recommend, is to get back to us here, join the team, and definitely work more closely with us in the coming weeks, months, and years. And I promise you that we can help you, whether you're looking to become a better communicator, whether you're looking to earn more income, whether you're looking for more time freedom. All of these things are things that my wife Melissa and I have gotten a lot better at. I don't know if we're masters or not. And I'll also say this, that every master was once a disaster. So if you're not feeling the best about yourself right now, maybe you're stressed out, maybe wondering, holy cow, Kevin, I don't even know what to do next. Here's what I recommend you do. Reach out to us, to Melissa or myself here, and let's have a conversation if you're not sure what to do next. Now, what I'm going to tell you to do next right now is just to join the team. For crying out loud, there's a button at the bottom of the screen here. You can learn exactly how Melissa and I have been able to work from home for the last 3 years and generate multiple 6 figures for 3 years in a row, 5 figures monthly for 36 months in a row, which I've got to tell you, we've never done before in all the years of working from home. And getting to the point where the bills are on auto pay and we can wake up each day and have a residual income, teaching you how to build a income that builds month after month after month. Probably on a future training, we ought to talk a little bit more about the cash flow quadrant, what Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki talks about, moving people from an employee mindset to a self-employed mindset over to the business side and the investor side. I'll tell you what, over the course of the next 4 years, I talked about the online university. Somebody can truly watch this video today, be an employee, not know the first thing about building an online business, and make that transition from employee and self-employed, where you're doing all of the work, and being able to make that transition to the other side, to the business side, where you've got people working for you and creating an income even when you're not working, And the best part, when you become an investor and you've got money working for you, even when you're not working. That's really the dream, I think, of most people watching this video. So you're in the right place, you're in the right time, the time is now, and the last thing I'll leave you with is that there is no better time. You know, it's kind of like when you get in your car and you drive all the way across town, there's always going to be a red light. You've got 12 traffic lights to go through. I defy the person that can make it through all 12. You always have to stop along the way. But the best time is now. So what I recommend you do now is click the button below, join the team. If you want to have a conversation, hey, you know how to find us. We're right here on Facebook right now. So click on Melissa Knecht or Kevin Knecht. We can certainly assist you. Looking forward to working with you, my friend. It's Kevin Knecht. Appreciate you watching, and thank you for your feedback. Leave the comments below if it's on the video here, or certainly leave us a comment on Facebook. Looking forward to connecting with you soon. And for now, we'll say goodbye and welcome to the team.